There are a number of things that are obviously weird. You can see them daily in life, but people just don't pay attention to what they're looking at. For example, there was a criminal who hacked into a woman's cell phone and cloned it. Then he used it to be a Lyft driver. Now, when people were obtaining rides through the Lyft app, it showed the picture of a woman. But when they got in the vehicle, most people never acknowledged the fact that the person on the picture was completely different than the person who was driving. Therefore, over 50 people were robbed. Why? Because they refused to pay attention to the obvious things around them. As a federal agent, you learn to see things for how they are, not how you want them to be. This story is one of those where if victims would have simply just looked at the obvious signs, they could have avoided the troubles they were about to experience. Listen to this. Last year in Mississippi, there were a series of child abductions. The first child was 9 years old, white male. He escaped by jumping out of a truck cabin window. But when the child was questioned, he could not describe the man's face that took him. He told us that the man was wearing a mask. Now, what the kid did point out was two things that stood out to him. Number one, that the man had a Latino accent and had a tattoo of a teddy bear on his wrist. The next thing that the young man explained to us was that he was driving a green Dodge Ram truck and that he had a small pink teddy bear hanging from the back bumper. A month later, a woman is outside of Walmart in Richland, Mississippi. Her and her 12-year-old daughter were waiting in line to get in the store. She sends the girl back to the car to get the cell phone, and when her daughter is taking too long, she went to go look for her, only to find her talking to a man in a green Dodge Ram truck with a pink teddy bear hanging from the bumper. The man grabbed her daughter by the arm, and the only reason he did not kidnap her daughter is because there were two other men that just so happened to be walking by at the very moment he grabbed her. The men confront him, she jumps out screaming, and the abductor speeds away. Listen, this woman calls the police, makes a report. Eventually it ends up on my desk. Over the next few months, reports came flooding in from Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia of Latino men trying to abduct children and women, and the one common reoccurring theme was the teddy bears, pink, blue, green teddy bears hanging from the bumpers of their vehicles. Listen, in every case when the license plates were ran, they were either temporary plates or stolen. Then we finally get a break in the case. In Shreveport, Louisiana, a father and his 10-year-old son are playing in the front yard. The father walks around the side of the house to get an extra baseball glove out of his truck, and when he returns, his son is fighting off two men. One of them has his mouth covered, and they're trying to drag the kid into the truck. But this kid is a fighter. He kicks one of the men in the nuts, bites the other one, giving his father, a retired Marine, enough time to get to them. When the police finally arrive on the scene, one of the assailants' neck has been broken. The other one has been beaten unconscious. Now listen carefully. This was a break that I needed in this case. And without giving away too much information, turns out they were all illegals working as a part of a kidnapping ring. Now, the information given up by the man who was beaten unconscious led to the arrest of 90 other illegal immigrants in a group that was called the Teddy Bear Gang. Now, that gang answers directly to the CJNG cartel. Now listen to me, I'm not telling you this story because it's paranormal. I'm telling you this story because it's a warning. You have to protect your family and yourself from what's going on around you. And don't take them for granted.